Hello, 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 hello. Here we go. Is this working? All right, get your birth digits in, birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Yeah, need your location. If you can get them all together on one line, that would be excellent. So the easier, the better. The easier, the faster. Hello. I see you. I see you. Hello, man. And C green. Yep, birth digits, full birth digits. C green, you got it right. You got them all there together. Very good. August 7th, 1979, Santa Rosa, California. This is the Star Room. This is where we do astrology readings for folks who might not be able to afford an astrology reading. They're not cheap. They're expensive. So we do quick readings. It's a speed reading. It is a free reading. Hold on a minute. What's going on here? Okay. Sometimes the tech gives me some issues. So yeah, let's get your speed reading in. And if you want to have a little bit more time, you could always gift the channel. The payment apps are right down below in the details. Cash App, Venmo. Yeah, I think that's good. First come, first serve. We do this every week, or at least once a week. And the first and third Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. First and third Saturday of every month. So let's get to work. Hello, Mr. Reborn. Happy Monday, right? I got an interesting job application off today, and you talked about something happening late in the... Oh, good, good, good. Fingers crossed. Glad to hear it. Yeah, good for you. Keep me posted on that for sure. All right, so let's get to work. See, green, you got all the digits and you have it all together. We're going to get to you first. Oh, okay, man. Yep, okay, so then you're number 2. You got your birth time, your birth location. Very good. That's how this goes. All right, so let's get C green. C green, did you have something you want me to focus on? If you don't give me 1 or 2 words what to focus on, then I am going to just share what kind of pops out. Make sense? Yeah, I had to shut the window. It gets kind of crazy outside sometimes with the volume. So let's get you in here. Sea green eyes, to be exact. Okay. Santa Rosa, California, 8:42 a.m. That's a.m. 8:42. Very good. Let's see what else we got here. Just bear with me. We're double checking all the information. Sometimes we get glitchy stuff. Okay, here it is. August 7th, 8:42 a.m. Santa Rosa, California. Have you seen your chart before? Okay, choose a window. We're going to play that game again. Let's see if, oh, thank you. Nice. Thank God it worked. Woohoo, technology. It's great when it works, right? All righty. Sea Green says whatever jumps out. Yeah, you're welcome. Did you say if you've seen it before? This is giving me a Virgo rising. I get a lot of Virgo risings. So Virgo rising, and we have your moon, Aquarius moon at 7. Is that you? I kind of like to confirm. Ooh, you got a Mars at 29 degrees in Gemini. Whoa. So you'll be coming up on your Mars return. All righty. 10th house. Whew. Talking, communications, sales, business, commerce, trade. Like Gemini energy, social media. Holy crap. The taking in of information and the putting it back out. Whoa. Can be education, of course. Teaching, writing is big. But you have Mars there. This can be very assertive communications, very strong communication style. You even have a retrograding Mercury at 3, so maybe a little bit on the dramatic side in the way that you communicate. This is strong creative energy. Your Venus is also here. All this Leo stuff. You're having a big Leo season with Jupiter sitting right on your Mercury right now. Whoa. Okay. This is 11th house of friends, but this is the 11th house of group energy, being online. Oh, I don't know, being in a chat online, astrology. Yeah, that's all that. You have your sun, your Mercury, your Jupiter. Damn, you got a lot in Venus. Holy moly. Your moon says you really do gravitate more towards being very unique and different in terms of being artistic, but also, you kind of dance to your own music type of thing. Very original, authentic. These are innovative individuals. Higher intellect, higher ideas, ideals, especially in terms of creating. And this can speak about mom energy as well for you. Freedom and independent energy. Holy shit, this is going to be huge for you. And by the way, this is in relationships. If this is the correct time and if this is your chart, this says this is relationship energy for you. That can be a bit of a tricky thing. I mean, right? Relationships mean 2 minimum, right? But unconventional romantic relationships, that can be that too. And Aquarian can be just, it's a sign where sometimes it can come across as cold and detached and stoic, right? Doesn't mean it doesn't give a damn, but there's something where it can be quite detached from feelings and emotions. However, let me see what you got. You have a little bit of Cancer energy on the 11th house cusp line in this chart. That can even be little bouts of depression at times with that energy. But you have highly sensitive Neptune in the 4th house. Okay, this is I need an escape. I need to sleep. This can also speak about mom, freedom, independence, fantasy. This can be substances, right? Anything to take us away. Calgon, take me away, Sometimes a little sip of wine, whatever, something to relax and to chill out. But solitude would be necessary for your emotional security and how you would probably seek freedom. You might find yourself doing that if you haven't realized it about yourself. So does this chart sound like you so far that I'm reading? Does this sound like, holy shit, this is me? Or like, oh no, this isn't me? You got that Jupiter, up there in the Leo, really confident, super creative. Plus, this makes your Jupiter in your 12th house. Ooh, creativity off the charts. Might even be your confidence might be hidden from you, actually, with this placed in your 12th here. So maybe there's a part of your creative life that there's a little like you might do it behind closed doors, and I say do it. That means it might be more comfortable to be in places that feel more grounding and stable and nurturing your creativity. Or how about sleep even, right? 12th house when we're sleeping. So maybe some very colorful dreams, and maybe you literally have colorful dreams, like realistically, when you're talking about what you wish for, what's like your dream vacation, maybe travel's a big deal for you, but spirituality is going to be huge here when you have Jupiter in the 12th. And the ego energy is interesting. Yeah, the ego in the 12th. The 12th can dissolve the ego and pride. Ego and pride with that Leo energy can be something to deal with. And you have the ego energy in the 8th house too, because you got some Aries there. So what this can mean, it can definitely make it difficult. 8th house is the deep, psychologically. And Aries might not have words, truly. It's usually fast to react. That's Aries energy. So if something happens, something intense, usually trauma, maybe when I was younger, an 8th house goes deep. So it doesn't even have to be from something you can recall in this reality, this existence, this lifetime, however you want to word that. There can be some soul memory of trauma, because this is the house of the Crusades. People who were like spiritual warriors, and you have Aries there, a soldier. Interesting. So there's probably some trauma from that. And it might be hard to be able to communicate. Aries isn't really great when it comes to communication, although you've got your dramatic communicator in the Leo energy, which it is internalized for you. That's what that means is it again might be easier to maybe bursts of getting very loud, the lion roars type of energy, and you've got it in the 11th house of shocking communication, shocking sounds, shocking creativity even, or maybe liking to create things that shock people, or even use words and dramatize things, maybe over dramatize things using the drama and the shock value to get your point across. That can be a thing too here. Okay, now with all of that said, if you think this is you and that it sounds like you, all right, let me go over and see what you think. If you think this is hitting close to home for you, so we can confirm whatever pops out. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Wow. Yes. Okay. Yes. And I love solitude. Okay. Yes, it does. Hard for me to interpret. Okay. Yes, I do. Okay. We're good. All right. Now, here is one of the things that are jumping out. There's two, actually. Well, there's multiple things. You've got multiple kites in your chart. When people have the kites in their chart, it does add a layer of depth to their lifetime, meaning it's not just about being here to, I don't know, to live, breathe, have a good time, to accumulate, the mundane kind of stuff. This adds more of a spiritual role, a spiritual work type of thing. And 17, you have relationships and the communication with relationships, creative relationships. So this can be romantic relationships or things that involve children even. And I know that combination, I have to kind of switch those words up nowadays because that means a whole nother thing. But you could be a teacher of children. Maybe it's being crafty and teaching art. Maybe it's just simply reading. It's Gemini. It can be libraries. It can be education in any way that has to do with the written word. But nowadays, the written word with Gemini can be, everything is with our phone, all these devices, that kind of stuff, but something with the curiosity and the learning and taking action with your Mars there. But there's a partnership energy. And that's at the top of this kite that's in your 10th house of career. And it takes me back to your Mercury again. So it's in communications of some sort, right? Communications, learning, speaking, teaching, inspirational, maybe even vocal stuff, and whether if it's not drama, like stage and screen or whatever, it can be inspirational, inspiring words, even writing inspirational, inspiring words, but also voice, possibly. Possibly. You've got the Scorpio energy down here. So that would be something super different and unique. You're going to have bursts like lightning bolts of information that come through when it comes through for you. Scorpio's psychic knows way more than it should. And in the third house, there's a challenge with that, which means you know the information, but the difference is, do you have the discernment to not share what you're not supposed to share? Knowing it doesn't mean we're supposed to share it. And that's always a challenge in the third house, because that's the house of gossip. So coworkers, neighbors, siblings, right? Housemates, classmates, whatever the hell, it's all there. Peers. Now, if this is you, you have a soul's goal mission here, and that's the Virgo energy, which, because you have a lot of strong creative, a lot of signature points for strong creativity. And when I say creativity, we could be busy procreating. We could be doing that kind of energy. But we could be taking it up a notch using sound, music, and imagery in whatever way, theater, screen, whatever way that comes out for you. But that's part of your daily routine. You have it here. You have Pisces energy in the day-to-day routines and in your partnerships. And this is at 12 degrees on the descendant and partnerships, which is like, my relationship with the divine, spiritual energy, whatever that is for you, the creator. But there's something tangible, practical, and logical. And your soul's goal says, we're trying to establish, I don't know if the word focus is right, but a little bit more emphasis maybe on some of the details. Even though you have a lot of strong Virgo energy, because you have Saturn here too, you have an abundance, your North Node is in Virgo. And with that energy, it talks about health, even a focus on health, a focus on self. This may be difficult to focus on, though. This may be difficult to pinpoint. What's the birth year? 79? Well, hopefully you know this by now. Anytime we have something in that 12th house, it's usually hidden from us, right? It's our deeply psychological stuff. It's subconscious, and it's not easily understood or available for us to put into words or to communicate. And then therefore we can't act on. But it says here, and I'm literally just going to read this so it doesn't sound so personal. You often feel overwhelmed by the suffering of the world and your own lack of confidence in your ability to have an effect on the suffering. It says here that during these times, it's possible that you suffer from a physical illness, which adds to your feeling of powerlessness. At some deep level, you're driving yourself and others to achieve perfection. And that's that Virgo energy. So the point with the Virgo, because perfection of self, very possible, is not realistic. What we should focus on are just the tiny baby steps and seeing improvement, little baby steps up, as long as we're seeing some sort of improvement. Okay. Being quite critical can be quite tricky. So make sure you're not too critical of yourself or others. And it says judgments, not to be too judgmental on yourself and others, and to add some compassion and wisdom to make it part of your practical everyday world. This could be through a form of spiritual teaching or healing for you. Okay, so remember, that's for self. And with Saturn in the first house, Saturn tends to be, you're your own kind of taskmaster. And so on the physical body, Saturn can be tricky. We can have issues as well with spine and skin, teeth and just the hard parts, bones, knees of the body. Head, something with the head, so likely teeth, because you've got it at 13 degrees. And it doesn't mean it has to be all the time, but you just may have noticed some of those things may have come up for you and been like, God, what the hell? Saturn tends to rule time, and so it can slow things down. And it says, there's no rushing. It's all about the goals and the work. So this would even speak to you possibly doing work that is somehow health inclined, health, some sort of perspective on health, and likely some other, beyond the normal medical modalities, something that's different. Although you do have a lot of tech in your sixth house of work and science and medicine, you do have that in the location of work as well. So I would love to hear that you do like maybe a combination of using the old and the new, the old and not yet discovered type of energy, combining some of the tried, true, and tested with advancements for humanity. So yeah, the spiritual stuff, because of that kite. Kite adds a spiritual effect, and the Jupiter is part of that kite. And for you, the Jupiter energy is your great benefic. So you can be the protector, you can be protected, you can provide, you can be quite generous. Children, fun, joy, creativity, and romance becomes really big and enhanced. And the Jupiter stuff, the caution again would be not being able to see when I maybe go overboard. Okay, because I need to get away. And I might go to extremes at times because I can take massive risks and not be aware of it. That is what is kind of lingering strongly here. All right, hope that helps. We are moving on. Next chart, they had all their information in the chat is, here you go, you're here, you're up. I don't know how to say your name. I'm calling you Manjit. Yep. Manjit. Yeah, we're going to leave it at that. You're up. Are you here? And your birthday is tomorrow. Oh, very good. 7/7. Woo, 66. If you're still here, let me see you say hello so I can create your chart. Some people leave. If you're not here, you don't say hello and let me know you're here. I'm going to move on to the next name. We're here to give readings. Not everybody, well, not many people can afford astrology readings. So I kind of like to use these weekdays to try to help people out. If you ever feel generous and have the means, you could always gift the channel, and then I spend more time on your chart for anybody who has that ability. That's totally fine. If not, everybody else, yeah, everyone could have a speed reading. Okay, so Manjit's here. Great. Oh, you're telling me an awful lot of information. Okay, so will I be able to leave my husband and look after myself and my son? All right, let me get your chart up here. That's a big question. That's a whopper. Let me create your chart. I said, let me get your chart. I first have to create that. All righty. Yeah, that'll be good enough. And we have 1966 and 12:15 a.m. And we got Punjab. I'm trying to remember if the software gave me a hard time. I don't know why. Sometimes it's just got an attitude. Have you seen your chart before? I'm sure you have, but I could be wrong. And let's save this information. And you're asking some big questions here. Well, let's go this route here. Okay. Let's get this on the screen. Woohoo, and it worked. Man, I just love when it works. All right, so here we go. Big question. Wait a minute. Did you say, have you seen your chart before? We got to make sure this is you. Well, right. I know not by me. I'm just trying to confirm that the chart I have drawn up is accurate. Otherwise, what I read won't be accurate, right? Yeah. One wise lady said, "Hey, cosmic lunatics, what's going on?" Well, then that makes you the cosmic queen of, well, you're the one wise lady of lunacy. How about that? The one wise lady. All right. Okay, so I'm showing a Pisces moon at 5 degrees. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All righty. Well, this chart shows Jupiter in Cancer in the 4th house. That's supposed to be very beneficial. That's supposed to be a great placement. Did somebody say I hear a but coming? But you do have change and disruptions at a strong degree. They're conjunct. Whoa. Okay. Alrighty. So, gosh, I'm sorry if this is you. Like, this means this kind of stuff happens on a regular in your life. Not maybe this intense, but whether it's your day-to-day routines, a job, home, maybe even health. Yeah, disruptions. This would directly affect your emotions. I mean, I know that sounds nuts. Of course it affects the emotions. But this would directly affects the emotions, the family, and your emotional stability directly affecting your health, like in a stronger way than maybe most people notice in their own lives. All right, with that said, you do have a Saturn in this chart at 29 in Pisces. Okay. There's some big energy. You do have North Node in Taurus at 23, independent energy. This is showing a lot of independent energy. This is a good thing, but it also represents surprises and shocks. Okay. So the breaking away energy, going off on my own, you actually have you have quite a few things here that kind of pinpoint that, plus a 0 degree thing going on. That's strong. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry you can't sleep. Man, I know how that feels. That sucks. Hopefully, when the Neptune retrograde begins, that's like today, tomorrow, maybe that'll help you out a little bit on the sleep. Okay, so oh, look at this. You got Mars right there already. Mars going independent. Ooh, so you're considering this right now? You haven't. You're like, I have to get the hell out, and I have. Okay, so I'm looking. Okay, will I be able to leave? Okay, you're considering it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Your Mars is why you're thinking about it so seriously right here. Your Mars is just like, I am out of here. But and there's a lot of other objects too. Oh wow, even your Mercury. The Mercury's sitting right on your 4th house cusp line of emotions. It's extreme energy. It says take extreme matters, right? This isn't the answer though. Not at the second. I'm still looking. Just wanted to make sure you understood that. I am still looking. It looks like Mercury contracts Venus 12 degrees. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. So you do have healthcare in the 6th house. And these are people who take care of other people, service, one-on-one service, right? Whether I'm nursing or whatever the hell it is, right? Being a caretaker for another individual. and Mercury at 9. Okay. The node has already passed. You are going to have a nice Jupiter return coming up. Thing is, it's Venus that is your great benefic in your chart, not your Jupiter, even though Jupiter's in a great place. However, to me, this is wonderful, though, because it's like we almost get two great benefics. So with that said, let me check some other things. This is a big question. This is a serious question. This isn't, let me check the other chart. That usually both of those will give me a really better indicator. 23, 19. What I will say is so far with this Jupiter, you're going to have a Jupiter return. And it's starting, the end of July. You're feeling it very strongly, like big time. And with the Jupiter there in the Cancer energy and in the 4th house, the expansiveness, the generosity, even the abundance and protection that Jupiter can provide within home and family. But let me see some other objects here. Even the sun is going to be here. Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because this will be getting close to your birthday too. I know that sounds crazy, right? I'm lining it up anyway. According to where your birth objects are, we'll have Jupiter at 11. We'll have the sun getting close to your sun at 14. So that's my point. And you're going to have Pluto at the opposition. All right. And maybe that's a big part of this too, huh? Yeah. Okay, you do have, I think you might, if you do this now without looking at another chart, and I'm going to kind of switch this out right now. Well, let's do it this way. This isn't giving me any other option here. Let's go like this. Okay, so on this one, okay, something strange is going on. Let's try this. Okay, so this one shows your Jupiter here at 20 degrees in Gemini and your Mars right there. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what was going on there. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of the courageous energy, meaning you're feeling like you can do this. A lot of the courage and courageous energy. But okay, so it looks like if you're receiving support, whether it's through spouse or whether your disabled child's support, and whether you're going to be taking care of the child full time or if you have assistance, whether somebody actually can come in and help out. Having that Virgo and the Leo there, that mixture in both the charts, in this way because you've got 22 and 22, which tells me boss energy, independent, but this is my job, this is my work. You follow? You've got it here in this other chart. So you're going to have Jupiter riding through there as well for you. Um, the thing is that Jupiter is going to pass through. It's going to trigger that, and hopefully that does it for you. Because it's not your great benefic, that gives me some hesitation. We need for your Venus to be part of the story and to be activated. And Venus will be going through the 8th house for you, insurances and stuff like that. And, money, like shared values, whether it's whatever, right? Anything connected possibly to, because if you have to go to court, if you have to go through divorce and all that, I don't know where you're all that, but having Venus in the 8th house of shared values can be beneficial, but the Venus is going to do a retrograde here. So, I would really have to go way further into the future to like really look at that. I mean, at quick first glance, sure, I would say, yeah, this looks supportive of that. But I would personally want to take more time because that's a big deal, what you're talking about. Now, do you have it in you to do it? For sure. Both the charts support that. But as far as having the finances and having, yeah, I understand the managing it on your own thing. Yeah, but that means a sole income and then physically being able to handle it. And you feeling like, well, can I do that? I would imagine. So we can take a look at this again. But I would need a little bit more time to spend with this because that's a big question. I mean, that includes the finances. Do you know what I'm saying? It includes your mental well-being, your physical well-being, because you're looking on like, wow, I'm going to do this. I mean, you even have a vertex point, which is a point of fate on your descendant, like who I'm partnering up with, and it's the Virgo energy. But the fated energy, people get locked in on that and they think it means forever, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay? The fate's where you have a choice and you have options. Now, you do have Saturn at the opposition, so there is some work, there is some spiritual work, there is some sacrifice for sure that this speaks of. But does that mean that, I'm going to be honest with you. It breaks my heart when I get people who come on here and they're telling me they're living in a car and they're taking care of their child. I don't want you to be in that situation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit. So I would feel better to have a longer look at this. So you can come back again and we'll look at it again. And I'll go a little bit further into the future to see how this is going to pan out because, this would mean you having to go through a divorce. Usually that's a long process, and you need the finances. Everybody does. Yeah, if you're not concerned about the financial part of it, this chart and the other chart show as far as your emotions, it's really the mental well-being and the wear and tear of being a caregiver. You have a lot of spunkiness and part of your energy here on this other chart is the detachment level. On one chart you have a Pisces moon, and on the other chart you have an Aquarius moon. But the interesting thing is that even your Aquarius moon, let me get this off of here, even your Aquarius moon in this other chart is in the 12th house of sacrifice. You follow? And it is at a very independent degree, a very independent energy, group energy. And you're either called to do this or you're not. Whether you're going to make it through it is a different thing altogether, right? And that's kind of like the deeper question. Are you in this to do because you feel as though, yeah, this is my calling? And when it comes to our calling, unfortunately, what it does to us physically and mentally, that's usually not in the equation. It usually doesn't matter if it's a calling. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, life isn't pretty in that way. It's just not. And it definitely can seem, I don't have to tell you, definitely can seem very unfair. Um, so if you feel financially that you're going to be all set, then I would say, then, taking a quick look, then go at it, because you have a lot of lively energy where you like variety and to switch things up with the Gemini stuff. At the same time, um, peace and home and stability and things, being harmonious are going to be real important and peaceful. So I could understand you need your peace of mind for sure. And if you feel like that'll give you peace of mind, great. But you can always incorporate group energy and friends and people who can help out. So if you strategize and use this, use your resources wisely, especially if there's resources where, people can come in and help out, you can get within I don't know, all the ins and outs of what's available, but you can strategize. And you even have Pallas Athena at the 23 degrees, which is medicine, which is healthcare, which is hospitals, doctors, like utilizing all the resources and strategizing so that you can do this. Okay. Well, yeah, this other chart shows that you have a Pisces on the ascendant, and that does make things a little bit more difficult. And Virgo energy can, yeah, make things tricky. The other chart showed that you had Pluto and Uranus at the same degree in Virgo, and that's health stuff. Yeah, deep, sudden, shocking, surprising health things that kind of come out of nowhere. Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on. You, like I said, come on back some other time, and we'll take a little bit deeper look at both of these charts again for you. But I think it comes down to you just asking that deep question of what's your calling, and if it is that, and knowing it's okay that if it's not your calling, if that's the answer, I know it's hard if it's someone's child, but um that's a major major thing, major thing. Mr. Reborn said, "Cosmic queen of crazy." Okay, Watkinson Cat House. All right, so let me see here. Who was next? Who was next with the digits? Um, Mr. Reborn, I think you were next, but you didn't say pass. So does that mean you're here for a reading? I know I already have your digits. And I've got somebody else. So if you're one of these people, let me put this up as an example. If you've got this here where you gave me your digits, make sure you give me location. I need your birth location. City, state, okay? City, state, country, depending upon. Make sense? Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. I do work that is environmental health related. Oh, okay. You are welcome, Sea Green. Oh, maybe. Yeah. So did Mr. Reborn make a comment? Oh no, I'm just hanging out. Okay, great. No problem. Thank you. Yeah. So if you're here and you're not looking for a reading, and I have your digits, just please put pass on your name somewhere. That way I know that you're just here to hang out, and that's all good. Okay, so Mr. Reborn is taking a pass, which means we're going to, this would be the next one in line. This, y'all are trying to trip me up with these names. How about April 1st, 1975, Istanbul? And then you give me 1720. You're giving me coordinates? Like I would need more information than that? I mean, that could be east-west, that could be north-south. Are those your coordinates, dude? Or dudette? Yeah, I'm not even going to pretend to try to pronounce that. I'm calling you NN. Are you April 1st, 1975? Are you here? NN says 5:20 p.m. And a location, please? Where were you born? Oh, I'm sorry. You have Istanbul. My bad. And I said it the first time. Too freaking funny. Oh, 1720 the time. My bad. I should have known. My brain. Sorry about that. You're right. You were right. Thank you so much for the clarification. My brain. Got it. All right. So you're next. And you don't have any, you didn't mention a quick question of any kind, a couple of words, or I'll just tell you what pops in. NN. IHAN. YIL. MAZ. Ooh, I made it through. Ooh. All right. April 1st, 1975. Great. All right, 5:20 p.m. Let's hope this works. Let's see if the software gives us the okay. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it just says crazy shit. All right. So this is the chart it's giving me. Let me get this up here for you. All righty. Have you seen your chart before? All right. In this system, we're doing a Sagittarius moon, a Virgo rising, of course. Yeah. NIHAN. Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, I threw the whole big long version in there. Okay, great. Well, we got it on the screen. That's perfect. Let me save this to the system for you. All right. Woohoo. Okay. Let me see. Did you say? Okay, we're going to go with what jumps out. Hey, Christy, I see you. What's going on? Happy Monday. You survived the 4th. We're all here. We survived. I survived. All right, you have a Venus in the 9th house. So this means your love language, the desire energy is, yeah, it's on overload. Just so you know. Might be a tricky thing. Might not. 9th house really kind of just takes it on a whole nother level. The desire stuff. And Venus is one of my sometimes I don't know if she's friend or foe for me in my life. I love Venus, but damn, some of my greatest downfalls are Venus. It can be a challenge. desires, love. Yeah, it can be our desire energy, our addictions. What are we addicted to? Venus. Ooh, ninth house. Ooh, ninth house and Saggy energy. They like them some wine. I'm always talking about Jesus and the wine with that ninth house energy and sweets. Yeah, but spirituality, religion, spirituality. But Taurus. A lot of people with the Taurus in the ninth tend to be quite traditional. Um, Communicating, learning, reading, writing. Okay. Publishing. Ooh, creative. This can be good for vocals. Maybe you like the sound of your voice, but maybe you actually are a good vocalist. That could be a thing, possibly. Sometimes these are like teachers, preachers, you know. Yeah. Now, your moon down there, you have the Saggy moon, and I already mentioned the Saggy energy. Interesting. But this is really focused a lot on relationship energy. But the relationship energy is like teaching, learning, travel can be involved, but with the partnerships, professional partnerships, this can be institutional energy. This can also be justice and freedom and the rights and the law, courtrooms, judges. There can be that kind of energy. But there's also a higher law, you know, than the law of the land, right? That us humans live by. Well, that some of us humans live by, you know, the poor ones, right? There's that cosmic law. That's a big thing too. And with Venus in the ninth, and I'm focused on the Jupiter for whatever reason, your big Jupiter energy. By the way, Jupiter is your great benefic. So it's your partnerships. And it's the back and forth. It's the banter. It's the communication. This can be coworkers, neighbors, siblings, peers, people who are in your immediate environment. But it's the rapport. It's the ability to go back and forth and to share information. This can be assertive communicators, really probably fun energy too. Very adventurous energy. So this is personal relationships, but also professional relationships. It's that same mixture. And so all this energy is how you would feel emotionally secure, satisfied, safe, and how you feel like stable. You have to have freedom. Like that's going to be really important. Independence and freedom is going to be super important. Matter of fact, it's so important you have to incorporate it to some degree in your everyday routine, like for your health and your well-being, right? For my emotional and mental well-being, spiritual well-being, there has to be some seeking, some searching, some looking for truth, for knowledge, for the cosmic law type of energy. So however you use this can be esoteric information. This can be people who kind of are the prophetic information that comes through. They kind of get glimpses into the future. This can be me also describing mom energy as well, whether it's your mom or you're the way that you feel nurtured and the way you nurture others. This can be that combination. All right. And yeah, freedom and independence comes up again as huge in your chart in a lot of ways. I mean, you have an 11-degree sun. You have 11 degrees on the house cusp lines of desires and values and money, relationships, unique, different, unconventional. These can be lots of quick relationships too. Maybe the word relationship isn't right, but these can be lots of exciting times with other people. And it can be group energy as well, which take that however you want. But very different and unique. And it comes up again even with your Neptune. Holy shit. Wow. Number 11 is big for you in your chart. Unconventional. This is the people who make their own music. They are all about getting to truth. This is really science, energy, and technology too, by the way. And astrology, of course, and space. But freedom and independence. You freaking have a sun at 11 degrees in Aries. These people, watch out. Relationships, again, very important for you, and having freedom within those relationships. And this will be complicated for you because you also have Pisces on the descendant, which speaks of I'm here to sacrifice, right? Like I have a partner who's willing to sacrifice for me, but yet at the same time, with all that Aries, the contrasting of I'm easy to get along with. I kind of just go with the flow, but then at the same time, the Aries breaks out and breaks free and has to get away and has to take charge and lead and be first, where it can be like, what the fuck? All of a sudden they need to be independent. One minute we're all about us and we, and then all of a sudden just becomes about me, right? So this can be something within yourself, and then it can also be within the people that are drawn and attracted to you in partnership energy. Yeah. 23 comes up with friends and in group energy again for wounds. In your, wow, deep wounds, actually. Again, this is more of the crusade energy of people who fought religious battles. You've got Aries, it's in the head, it's in the skull, probably a leader. I don't know how intense you identify with your energy, but it's going to be intense. You have your Uranus at 1 degrees, more leadership qualities in Scorpio, really psychic energy. Lightning bolt flashes of information, but very serious. I'm talking about stuff that's deep. Do you get information? Are you aware of stuff? Maybe Saturn slows that down, but what I love is the Saturn can tell you, when something is not really grounded. Yeah. The Uranus energy and the number 11 that you have in so many places in the chart, this is those big systems, the world stuff, the global systems, Yeah, the global stuff. So world events would be big for people with stuff like this, would be really huge. Now, your North Node, this is your soul's goal right here. Yours is in Sagittarius. Whoa. Okay. So this is learning to focus. This puts emphasis on focus. It says that you may have an awareness of a fear of commitment. You may be aware of that. Scorpio energy is all about the wounds and the vulnerabilities, and you have that third house and also in the second. And the Saggy, where your North Node is, these people usually do have a bit of a challenge in terms of making those commitments, the long-term commitments, we'll say, okay? Doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means that there can be some challenges there. And that's the thing with the Saggy. It wants to be on that constant life adventure. It doesn't want to miss out. It doesn't want to miss out. Yeah. So sometimes the tendency to just go with the flow and changing who you are and changing your nature even according to the way the wind's blowing. Changing your nature even to fit each new season, new scene. So it kind of knocks you off of a course, but it probably feels good to just flow in and out. But again, focus is the thing, because you've had another timeline where you mastered being able to, what's the word, multitask, to be able to do lots of different things all at the same time and to be just all over the damn place. But it was the jack of all trades, master of nothing. This time around, it's okay. No, we're gonna cut that list down to less than I can hold in my hand and focus just on a couple of things and stay zeroed in. So that's one of the soul's goals. Family is probably connected to this. 4 degrees is right there, and it's Shiva. And so this talks about change, the end of things, and creating. It's got like a Phoenix Rising kind of energy to it, where we go through deaths and then we have a rebirthing process. So it's deep awareness that all things must end, how you prepare for the end, and what comes after. And this is located in the 3rd house, but it is at the home degree, the emotional degree, the mom and family degree. And traveling. That's the thing about Saggy, it's that traveler. So that communication and traveling and sales and talking and teaching, oh my God, it's huge with Saggy energy. All right. So, adventurous excitement. There's even, yeah, there was one dude. He belonged to something called the Adventurers Club. Like it's a real thing, I guess. You can go online and I don't know how they do that, if it's just online or whatever, but they share their adventures and shit. Like that's Saggy energy, totally. They are on a quest. And Scorpio energy always needs to be on a mission. Like this is for all of us, right? Needs to be on a mission. But for you, with Uranus there, you need the excitement of the adventure. That's why you go on the adventure, for the freaking excitement. The fresh and new is like, everything to this energy. Saggy is also known to be the horse, the person who rides the horse, the centaur, the half human, half horse, or people who are, you get saddle up and you go on that journey, long trips, long adventures, far away from home. And so that would be a partnership energy for you because you got the Jupiter in the 7th house. So spiritual journeys, like there's 1,000 different ways you can have adventures and journeys. So your chart is your life and it's up to you to just, to live it out the best you can. For however you can satisfy all of this down here. Even Neptune says it's dreamy for you. There's a sense of escape and wonderment and dream and fantasy because it's Neptune in the Sag. Yeah, in the adventure energy. Plus your freaking moon. So it's almost like you have to find ways to create little adventures, like I said before, within your day-to-day routines. And however you can do that. All right. So we are going to... Oh, yeah, movies. I see you now. Love movies. That would be good. Easily bored. Definitely love my mommy. Okay, good. Always ending and then beginning. I need adventures. Yes. Commitment phobic. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just saying. It's tricky. I know it's tricky. It's absolutely tricky. I did that sacrifice too, I bet. How could you not with the Pisces there? It's right there. And you have Pallas Athena and your descendant as well, even though she's in the 6th house. And she's a strategist. She can plot and plan. She's smart. She's a creative strategist. She's going to think of ways. Oh, look at this. I didn't even see this. She is a strategist and she thinks of ways in terms of the rebirthing process. Yeah. She thinks of how to restart again. Interesting. Wow. And that specifically would be within work and at home for you. Okay. All right. So who was next? Let me see who's all here. All right. So I'm going with the names that have birth digits. You follow? I think it was great. People stop by and say hi. That's wonderful. Need your birth digits. And Raj, here you go. Raj does not mess around. You can see Raj is a professional. Raj puts his name there as the comment. March 23rd, 1974. 4:45, Delhi. Very good. And said, may I have a reading? How wonderful. You used the word may I. That's 2 words, but still wonderful. Beautifully done. You get a gold star. Raj said, I'm a lady. Sorry, Raj. Ma'am, how about that? Ma'am, thank you for letting me know you're here. Let's get your digits in. So what are we looking at, Raj? Just what jumps out or what? Well, you are a pro at this. Raj is like, I do not mess around. Of course not. March 23rd, 1974. 4:45 p.m. Great. Oh, I think the air conditioning must have gone on, huh? Feels like it. It feels much cooler in here now. Okay. Let's see what we come up with for you. All righty. Here we go. We have, this chart is showing, this is the tropical Virgo on the rising, and the moon is a Pisces moon at 27 degrees in this chart. And of course, the 2 degrees Aries sun, right? March 23rd, the Aries energy. Doesn't mess around. Doesn't waste time. And a Mars at 13. There you go. That too. Yep, for sure. Wow. The node's at 23. Look at that. Okay. Nice. Oh, your Jupiter and your Mercury are conjunct over here in Pisces. Wow. Venus in Aquarius conjunct Juno. Oh, Lord. Okay, that might be tricky for health, having that in the 6th house there. And your great benefic is Jupiter. Partnerships, personal, professional, usually romantic. Health, there can be sudden surprises, domestic energy, but money and income too. Different, unusual, unique. When people have the Aquarian energy in the 6th house, yeah, there can be some major digestive stuff, right? Because that's all that Virgo energy, like the stomach, the gut, the digestive system, intestinal stuff sometimes. But you do have some nice trines to all this energy. And you have Uranus in Libra. Balance is going to be super important. Holy shit. Okay. This would be a disruptor of the balance, the disruptor of the norm. Well, that might be kind of tricky to navigate in terms of health. Although you have a nice strong trine to Saturn with your Uranus energy. These are both boss energy, communications, relationships, talking, writing, contracts. All this energy is really strong. And getting back to the Virgo and the health stuff, you have Ceres, grains, food in the 6th house. So the food and the grains are probably going to be a big deal. If they're, when are you born? 1974? Oh, yeah, you would already know about this by now. Because when we're young, we can eat whatever the hell we want. Let's be real. And then, wow, something happens and holy shit. It's all of a sudden like we got to pay attention to every little damn thing. This energy suggests that you probably would have known early on, who knows whether you ignored it or not, but it's at a Jupiter degree. So it really kind of goes large. With all that said, freedom is going to be important. Another chart where freedom is really important. Okay, anything about marriage or purpose. All right, well, before I go there, so far does this align with who you are? Does this make sense? I always like to kind of confirm that this is someone's chart. Yeah, this makes sense for you. Partnership's going to be very important. It's going to be on your mind. You have a moon at 27 degrees. That's the mind degree in partnerships. The caution with this in Pisces is there could be illusions and delusions as far as partnerships, meaning I have on my rose-colored glasses possibly, so that can make it tricky, and I'm glad my moon is not in the 7th house. I'm just saying. In general, if we have our moon wherever we have our moon, that's what we need to feel stable, to feel safe and secure, like, that's really important to us. You follow? And so that would be tricky. Some would even say this could be a relationship with the divine, having a moon in Pisces energy in the 7th house, like I'm married to the divine. And then some would say, well, that means no relationships, right? Because, yeah, the divine's not in a physical form, right? Um, but you have karma right next to it and Hygeia, which is interesting. This gives us a health report card telling us that it's all connected to the karma. That's what this shows me here, anyway, in this chart, that there's karma. It's at the big degree, it's at 29. So it brings big challenges. It's not small stuff. So it's going to come down to judgments and belief systems, okay, about partnerships and making sure that we're going in eyes wide open. Like maybe, you know how, when anybody starts a relationship, everybody shows their best side, their best whatever. And it's kind of like a honeymoon type phase thing. And then it's like afterwards, it's like, holy shit, how did I not see that? What the hell, because we have those, we're under the spell. We're under the cat. We've been, we bit the damn apple or whatever. We drink the potion, right? That's just what it is. And where's your Virgo energy? We need some really quick, smart. Oh, a lot of it's hidden in the 12th. Okay. Usually you have Virgo in the 1st in this chart. Some of it's in the 12th. Yeah. Yeah, if you were to hook up with people in your 7th house, like as in terms of partnerships, because again, Jupiter's your great benefic, right? So communication and talking about spiritual things, that would probably make sense. What makes it tricky for you, okay? Did I get your chart on the screen? Oh, I am so sorry. I'm babbling away and I didn't put you on the screen. Okay, so I just want you to let me show you this really quickly. Sorry about that. Let me star this and then let me take this off so you can see it because it's right where I wanted to talk to you about. You see your Pluto here in this chart? It's on the it's on the 2nd house cusp line of love and desires. And you know what Pluto means? It means change. Deep, powerful, intense changes, which means nothing stays the same here. Love and money. You follow? Now, it's not at exactly 6 degrees, but it's very close. And let me see some other things. You got stuff up there at 8 degrees and your midheaven. You have a Pallas Athena at 0. Ooh, you have a wicked smart Pallas Athena. Ooh, I like that for you. That's wonderful. Yeah, because she already thinks outside the box. She's already a creative thinker, and she's in Aquarius energy. Whew. She can be stoic. She can use astrology. She can use science. She can use technology. She can create shit, man. And it is in the house of creating. So I'm thrilled about that. And the question that I'm trying to answer is the connection to the change and the transformation of love and relationships and Pluto energy. So 6 degrees. Guess what you have at the square to that? In Capricorn, literally at 5 degrees and 10 minutes, you have Nefertiti, the Queen of Egypt. No shit. It's an exact square to that Pluto. Well, the pharaoh died. Yeah. And so she took over as queen after the pharaoh's death. This is an exact square to Pluto. Really fascinating. Um, this is connected to your long-term goals, and it is in romance, fun, children, romance, creativity. It's at the 5-degree mark. I mean, these are two very powerful people, right? Or however you want to look at them, two powerful planets, two powerful entities. It's a very powerful um archetype energy where they square in stress and tension, and it angles with your sun and Hathor, the Egyptian goddess of fertility. Hathor. Wow. At 6 degrees at the opposition. Mm-mm-mm. You have a strong wicked T-square here. So a lot of stress and tension with love and in relationships and partnerships, personal and professional. All right. And the Pluto gets bored. That's really not the right way to say it, but it has zero tolerance for anybody who lacks depth. You follow? It just says, what a waste of my freaking time, right? Pluto is about very meaningful energy. It should be purposeful and meaningful. Should make a difference for the better, right? So if you can't get that in a partner, that might be nagging away. Like, did I say if you can't get a partner? I didn't mean to say it like that. If you get a partner and you find yourself like, oh God, what am I doing? If you get into one of those scenarios, it's this. And the whole point of me explaining all of this is that this energy says that Pluto doesn't go away. It brings change. Nothing stays the same there. So it's almost like you should expect, unless you are fortunate, where you get into a relationship, and as you grow and change mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, so does your partner. Because if Pluto sees the constant growth, the change and the growth, then it's okay. It doesn't mean that they have to become, whatever, some great, inspiring leader or teacher or just someone who's going to be on the world stage. It doesn't mean that. It just means you have to see change and growth, as opposed to somebody who is the same from the day you met them and you're like, what the hell? They're like a damn slug. They haven't done anything with their lives. Like they're not doing jack, right? No, this Pluto has zero tolerance for that. And you'll make a change. Psychologically, you'll do whatever you have to do to initiate the end. You follow? So this would make it tricky. Did you say this that you asked? Were you asking about relationships? As I'm going on and on and on. Anything about marriage or purpose? Yeah. Okay. Well, then here we go. So purpose has to be deeply meaningful, and this is right relations. It's equality and fairness. You're going to highly value this. Diplomacy is going to be very important. This is where Pluto sits, and maybe even a fighter for children, because it's at the children degree. But creativity, right? And following the rules and regulations, because Nefertiti's over here at the king position. Rules and regulations, that's big. So as far as relationships, that's where I'm going to go back to this. Spiritual, if you can build upon relationships where you have similar spiritual beliefs, that might be the foot in the door. And if they're more mature and have depth and are constantly doing self-work, because that would be Pluto energy. It's psychological. So we have to constantly be doing our own homework, working on self, the inward work, right? So if you can find somebody like that. Now, when is the love boat coming your way? Jupiter, if you are looking for masculine energy, that would be Jupiter. And so for you, well, really for all of us, Jupiter's trucking through the Leo energy. And you have that in the house of your friendship right now. Now, you don't really have anything until like the 9-degree mark. And then you have something at 10. And then it disappears. It goes into your 12th house where it becomes hidden from you. So this is creative energy. I'm not sure how you use your creativity if you're not using it. Because the Pisces energy that I spoke of over here, when I said spirituality, this is also music and sound and movies, anything that involves being creative, acting, like whatever. Okay. Using your creativity in whatever way you can. All right. Some people do it by gardening. Some people do, yours would probably be very unique and different. Again, you might not have it zeroed in on and focused on it, but group energy, because your north node is group energy and friends. It is astrology as well, but it's also the focus on the group. And that would mean really altruistic energy and serving a group, right? These are the humanitarians. So that's another good avenue for group energy. And homes and the public, because you've got Cancer energy in the 11th. So these are people who are doing things that may help people to have a sense of home, to feel at home, to be at home, or literally property and the sticks and the bricks and get people housed, right? This is also a placement for public figures and politicians, by the way. I just thought I'd add that in there. All right. Expressive dance, very good. And I do work with children, very good. Okay. Excellent. Perfect. Working with the creative stuff, that's good. That's perfect. Yep. That is perfect. Because you're utilizing your creativity, which means you're utilizing your Jupiter energy. And the Jupiter going through that 11th group energy and children, Leo energy. To me, that would be an avenue of where we can meet someone, because I'm not sure where you're at, whether you've met somebody or whether you're just in the process of getting yourself out there. So you have until Jupiter is hidden. And so from you, now this doesn't mean it goes completely away. It just means it's a little bit more subconscious, or it has more to do with people who live across the world, across the pond, because it's Jupiter going, well, into another country and across the pond and away from you. So this is going to happen for you August 17th. So you have from now until then, and then Jupiter moves into a different house in your chart, okay? And that will change things a little bit. Jupiter becomes a little bit more elusive at that time. So if you're like doing some online stuff and you're meeting somebody online, that would be somebody behind the scenes, somebody that you literally can't see face to face. That would, that's what happens around that time. That becomes more prominent. Okay. So let me move on and get to another name here. So we are working now with, we're going first come, first serve. If you're in the chat and you don't want your chart looked at, just please put in pass. And I need your birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. And I have a name here. It says Jasmine. But I don't know if Jasmine left. Where did it go? I don't have your location, I don't think. Where did that go? Yeah, see, this for an example, this doesn't give me a birth location, right? So this reads December 9th, 1999, 5:53 a.m. We need a location. We need a city and a state. We need a, country if you're not in America. If it's not obvious. One wise lady, are you getting a reading? Are you here? I'm scrolling. Oh, Jasmine is here. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Try to get it all in on the same line. Thank you. Yeah, if you can please get your stuff. And you can enter your stuff into the chat multiple times. It doesn't have to be, oh, I did it once, I should stop. No, actually, the more the better, because then it helps me to find it. You notice some people will do it like quite a lot. And yeah, it's okay. Okay, so let's get your chart. Let's create this. Is there something in particular I'm looking at for you, or does it not matter, or just want me to tell you what kind of jumps out? Alrighty. Yeah, okay, I know. I don't think I've ever read for Williamsville, New York before. A Williamsville birth location? That is new for me. Yeah, it's okay, Jasmine. You don't have to apologize. It's fine. Having that here is it helps other people as well. They can read it and they can see, oh, yeah, my first time here. Oh, so that's how you do it. So it's all good. It is all good. Oh, I have to spell December correctly. All right, December 9th, 1999. Wow. That's interesting. I just kind of remember that timeline. People were freaking out because it was going to turn into the year 2000. Okay, 5:53 p.m. Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. I was just thinking it's getting kind of warm, but I have a fan I can turn on. Oh, that's probably going to be a little on the loud side. Put it right there. Okay. Alrighty. Have you seen your chart before? Let's get this on the screen for you. Oh, wait. Maybe she had a... Did you have a question? No. Okay. Alrighty. So, Jasmine, this is showing you have a Capricorn moon at 9 degrees and a Cancer rising. Another Saggy, or I should say more fire energy. Saggy sun. A lot of the Saggy energy is just kind of jumping out today. Today is a moon day. Interesting, but the Saggy's what's jumping out. Okay. 17 and 10. Chiron at 8 degrees in Saggy. Okay. So this would have to do with work. Ooh. Ooh. So are you a deep diver into like esoteric knowledge? You even have Ra conjunct your Chiron. Ra, the Egyptian sun god. Ra. Interesting. Esoteric information. Yeah, I'm just curious. Does any of the Egyptian stuff, mythology, does any of that resonate with you? I'm just curious with the Ra and the Chiron like that. This shows a wound connected to all of that. Kind of fascinating. Actually really fascinating because you have Mars and Uranus in your 8th house of esoteric information and energy. And really fascinating, intense, shocking even. This would represent shocking traumas. Can be more military stuff too, but okay. This would be like, these are freedom fighters for sure. These are individuals who are all about independent energy. Powerful. Independence is strong, but it's with home and family and my emotions, my deep hidden emotions. New and exciting. Being detached from the past, being detached. Stoic energy. That is kind of a blessing there in the placement of deep wounds and trauma. To have a detached sense about that stuff. Okay, so you have a lot of creative energy. You got deep, intense Scorpio in the 5th house of creating. Anytime I see Scorpio in the 5th, I see these creators as people who, if you've ever seen some of the pieces of art where they do the strong contrasting colors, the blacks, the reds, they use shadow really intensely. It's just wild. Yeah, the esoteric would be like the occult. Let me flip back over here really quick. I think I want to say I'm not sure what esoteric is. Yeah, just the occult. Like, are you drawn to cards, tarot? Are you drawn to, well, I don't know, some people might consider astrology occult knowledge. Absolutely. Maybe not nowadays, but yeah. The younger generation, I don't think they see it that way, but man, any occult ancient knowledge, any of the ancient teachings and Egyptian, any of the mythologies and understanding like the cosmic laws, stuff like that people think is yeah, considered occult knowledge. It's occult just means hidden knowledge. Doesn't mean evil, doesn't mean bad. It just means there's some knowledge, some information that it's not regular everyday information. It's closer to what you would label as truth. Wow, you have a Jupiter retrograde at 25. Okay, so that's pretty strong here. Because your fire energy, 15 degrees, Jupiter, Eris, and then okay. Okay, so this would be why this may not make sense for you. All right, you have Taurus energy up in the 11th house. And you have the Jupiter there too. Venus is your great benefic. Okay, desires and attachments. Ooh. Okay, this is a big T square. This is a blessing. I do believe this is a fixed T. This is the first time I've seen a fixed T square where I'm like, I think this is a blessing. Yeah, this is. Because if this was trine energy, desires and attachments, like you would be fixated, you'd be a stalker. Just saying. And you might even feel like there are times where you're like, God, why can't I just get that person out of my mind? There might be moments of that, right? But I'm telling you, if this Venus was in a strong trine, I think this would be so much worse for you. Shit. But love and fun and taking risks and having a good time. Scorpio is really bonded energy, and it's in the 5th house. Now, you can be really bonded to children, right? Because it's in the 5th house of children, but it's also romantic partners, soul bonds, energetic bonds, emotional bonds. And usually we have history with these people. And your Venus is there, which means this is my love language. Touch is the love language here. And excitement. Physical. Yeah. Physical expression, really strong creative energy. Yeah. So Mercury at 28. So this is connected to the emotions, very intense. So this is where that deep, intense emotional stuff and also more deep knowledge, esoteric information, maybe very psychic information where you kind of just know things and you're like, how and why do I know this? I probably shouldn't know this. When people tell you stuff that's deep and private, the Scorpio has to know it's not supposed to share that information. And that can be tricky for someone with Aquarius in the 8th house of having deep conversations. And because Aquarius tends to kind of feel that, this should be shared to everybody because it functions that way. It's detached from the information, so it might not feel like there's anything wrong with that. Especially since you have Uranus and Mars next to each other, and they're right on that 9th house cusp line of publish. I have to publish this. I have to talk about it. I have to write about it. So you're going to have to be really careful with this energy if you're not, especially when it comes to technology, and that whole thing. We can get carried away sometimes. And the truth, the stuff about the truth, higher knowledge and wisdom, seeking wisdom, going on that adventure, this Saggy energy, your sun is here. So when our sun is in Saggy, we're on the journey. We want the adventure. We're constantly seeking. We're constantly searching. We like the adventure, but we're seeking the higher truths, the wisdom, the knowledge. It usually starts off as really traditional religious stuff. But then as we elevate, we understand that true spirituality is a blanket over all religions. True spirituality does not have a religion. God does not have a religion. God is not this or that. You follow? So there is the need to discover the truth and then to share it big time with Saggy energy. But this could just be I travel in my work. Sometimes this is like astronaut energy for people. But dramatics, you've got the Pisces on the midheaven, and this energy is really expressive and can be performative energy. Can be a musician, right? Drama and acting, theater and sound, expressing and creating in some way. Yours is quite unique at 11. It's got 11 degrees up there. It is more group energy. It is excitement. Behind the scenes excitement too, for that matter, but it can be spiritual. But this is very independent. Freedom and independence are really prominent here in your chart. And a lot of times it feels like we are just one major contradiction. This is part of being a human. But your contrarian ways, like how do you your duality, your dual nature is subconscious, which means everybody around you sees it, but you don't. So you may say this, and then you may say this, and be like, okay, these are totally opposite, but you just said this is this, and this is this, and how can they both be true, right? So sometimes, and of course, this is the sign of social media, by the way. Yeah. It's in the 12th house. So it's hidden, and it means it's subconscious from us. This can be your coworkers, your classmates, your peers, and sibling energy that's hidden from you. Sometimes that means we don't have any, or we just communicate through the back door, or they're overseas, they're far away from me, I can't see them. But your goals in your work, again, if tech is not in your work in some way, are you going to consider it? There's something here, whether it's tech or whether it's like supply chain stuff, global commerce type of stuff. It even can be environmental stuff for sure, because you've got it in the 11th house of astrology. But you have Taurus energy, the earth energy in the 11th house, and you have Saturn there. Okay. Saturn can make it a long time before it gives us the recognition and how long we've been working at something, especially if we're creative. Saturn can slow down the recognition. However, because you have something at this really unique degree, if you're creating stuff, the uniqueness is what makes us stand out. That's what sets us apart from other creators. So hopefully for you, if you're using the strong creative energy, and you should be, because you got Scorpio in the 5th house, very creative. There's an intensity to it. Aquarius in the 8th. Yep. More creative using the intense trauma of the past and the emotions to draw upon. And then the music at the midheaven with Pisces. And then words, writing music, even possibly. Um, Gemini in the 12th. I used to have a lady, Gemini in 12th, and she would say that just shit would come in all the time. She would just hear so much. And she never did anything with it, right? She was never writing. She didn't use instruments or play around with instruments, but I wish she had, God only knows what she would have created or what would have came through. But anyway, so I hope this has helped. But just remember that thing about the Saturn. If you're finding that there's like a delay and there's not any recognition, the Saturn in the Taurus energy can slow that down. Although there can be moments of surprises and even beneficial friends for work. Keep that in mind. Okay, I need more water here. All right. So that was Jasmine, and Jasmine said, I make music. Very good. You're welcome, Jasmine. Within the last few years, I became interested. Oh, good. Yeah. Yep, good. All right, so let me go see who's after Jasmine here. Easily bored. I think I read that already, but yeah. Okay, so I think after Jasmine, I'm seeing Stacy. Did I miss Stacy? No, Jasmine. I just realized it's actually. Oh shit! Did I have the wrong time? No, I had the right time. Okay, good. Okay, so was Stacy here? Is that right? Did I see that there was a Stacy person that I think was next? Yeah. All righty. Biddy from Australia. Hello. Yeah, need all your digits, all your information on the same line together. So Biddy, I didn't have all your stuff together. I'm scrolling. Amy, hit if you feel drawn to me. Oh my Lord, really? Come on now. You're serious. And now you're going to put your digits. Oh, you didn't put your digits in. Oh, is that what the hell? Oh, and then Stacy. November 5th, 1981. I need a birth location, lady. May 18th, 1966. I need a birth location. And maybe you have it in down below. We're going to keep scrolling. You got to have them all in on the same line, okay? Oh, I see. Little Rock, Arkansas. Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Y'all are really tripping me up here. Got quite a few people throwing their locations in. All right. How about this? Let's do a roll call. Okay, good. Stacy said I'm here. That helps. Yeah, put your info in. Yeah, put your info in. We might have time for one more after this. It's already 6. Yeah, I'm just looking at the time. I can't remember what time I started. So it's birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Okay. And if I'm scrolling up and down looking for all your digits because they're in bits and pieces, that delays everything, folks, right? And if you're new, again, I'm not scolding anybody. I am just sharing how this works or how we're trying to get it to work. All right, so we're going to do this. Yeah. All right, so let me see if I can get. I'm sorry, Stacy. I scrolled past your location. There it is, Little Rock. May 8th, 1966. Okay, let me put that up in here. Have you seen your chart before? Oh, Lord, I didn't spell that right. Yes, I'm sorry. And did you give me your birth time on that other reading? Did you have your 11:14 a.m.? Okay. I said reading on the other chat, 11:14 a.m. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm really confused. I must have the wrong information for you. Okay. Yeah. How did I have? Oh, I see what I did. Oh, you see what I did? I mixed two information. I put North, and that's Amy's information. My bad. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Yeah. That means your birth time is probably not right either. So let's get that changed real quick here. Got the 11:14 a.m. 1966, May 8th, Huntington. Okay, how about this? All right, let's see what we come up with here. All right, so this is showing Capricorn moon at 5 degrees. That's difficult. Right off the top, that's difficult. Bouts of depression. Even though it's in the 5th house of optimism, and even at the 5 degree of optimism, but this can be mom and dad energy, mom having to play the role of both mom and dad. This, like I said, bouts of depression, this can describe mom, this can describe home life, it can describe your own emotions. This show is a Leo at 10 degrees on the rising. Taurus sun, Mars conjunct your Taurus sun. Well, that can help, except the extra fixed energy can make change quite difficult. However, this could be a very diligent hard worker, that's for sure, towards the long-term goals. And if this is right, having Virgo in the 2nd house of I have realistic desires and realistic, like practical values. I love the mixture of Taurus and Virgo energy. Must be a Mercury retrograde. That was a good one. Absolutely is a Mercury retrograde. Spot on. I saw that. All right, I'm flipping back to the chart now. You do have Neptune in a retrograde in Scorpio conjunct your South Node. Okay. And you have your Uranus and Pluto combined. And so your great benefic is Jupiter. It's at 0 degrees in Cancer. So a lot of emotions, not to mention that in the placement of home and family, it's intense emotions and traumas, right? Deep vulnerabilities. That's in the home. And this can talk about mom as well. Mother wounds would be deep here, okay? Family, ancestral wounds, trauma, deep. When we say trauma, yeah, especially and I don't know why, I wish it was different, but every time I'm looking at a female's chart, whenever this is like this, it's like, oh God, here we go. It's the female traumas from childhood, ancestral, happened to mom, happened to grandma or my auntie or whoever, like it just, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and then you have all that Cancer in the 10th house. So anytime people have charts that are set up like this, so much of their life right now is really them trying to process the past. You follow? It's just the reality. So what many people have found is they get help by utilizing the Pisces energy. And whether you are a spiritual person or not, some people go through traditional religion. I mean, you do have Saturn and Pisces there, but it doesn't have to be a religion. Your spirituality is kind of whatever you make of it. Believing in something greater than yourself, believing that there is some sort, that you're not alone. Okay, and there is like a divine order to things, which if there wasn't, I couldn't be doing astrology. This is like the language of gods, for sure. This is what I call divine science, and a sacred language is what I call astrology. So, Scorpio energy normally needs somebody to talk to because it's the deep psychology. Okay. And because you have Pisces in the 8th house, the house of the traumas, and it's Pisces, it might be a little fuzzy. It might be like, I'm not really sure. Is there trauma? If there is, I'm not. Yeah, that's kind of fuzzy in my brain. There could be a little bit of that, meaning there might be some things you're really aware of, but at the same time, there might be some stuff that is a little fuzzy. Because if it wasn't fuzzy, then that would mean it's not hidden, which would mean I can see it, I can label it, I can name it, I can work with it, I can process it, and hopefully, release it and move the hell on, right? So with that said, sometimes it helps people to take a deep dive, whether it's into their soul chart, like get a soul session reading, or some people do like past life regression stuff. But if you don't want to do any of that crap, then just know that if you need assistance, you need to use all the tools you can. And this is Virgo energy in your 2nd house. You have to use all the tools at your disposal. And that means working with my mind because it doesn't turn off. This is intense, Uranus and Pluto together, and they're retrogrades. And it's Mercury. So it's over here and it's connected to moon energy. Your Mercury is in Aries and it's connected to your beliefs about survival and the right to exist. Again, it's connected to moon energy, mom and ancestry. You follow? But beliefs and spirituality are part of this as well. Okay? Freedom, independent energy, very big. This is the sign that says freedom is not free in this location. Freedom has to be fought for. And fixed energy is very difficult energy to work with. It doesn't budge. You've got a ton in Scorpio. I'm sorry, you have a ton in Taurus. You got strong stuff down here in Scorpio. Even the desire with my fixed this energy says I'm attached to my wounds. I will not let them go. Attachments is Scorpio. We become attached. We identify even with them because it's all connected back to your Mercury and beliefs. You see, so there's a lot of deep work involved here to make the changes and to feel unstuck. There's a lot of internal work that has to be done, and nobody can do it but you. Sometimes it helps to find, I don't know, whether it's a spiritual director or some sort of a guru teacher, whatever. You just have to find someone that you vibe with and where it works for you, because Jupiter is your great benefic in your chart, and that can definitely be a spiritual teacher of some sort. Okay? You've got it at 0 degrees. It's somebody who it might be feminine because it's in Cancer. It might be someone where there's some deep resonation from the past. There might be some past bonds that we have together, maybe even in the ancestry, maybe connections back to the old country, whatever. There just might be something there that makes you feel comforted and comfortable. The thing is to not become dependent. And Taurus energy wants to feel comfortable, and it won't budge once it's comfortable. And so this can make this tricky. This is a ferocious combination, right? It just is. It's with Saturn. Like Saturn is like, I'm the boss. These are the rules. This is how it has to be, right? Very methodical, step by step. We don't budge. So it's really rigid energy, especially when it comes to my creature comforts, my values, my love energy, my love language, my desires. It's really down to earth energy. It's really stable energy, and it's a hard worker. But sometimes it gets in its own way. That's just the reality. You even have Juno at the family and the mom degree. So mother wounds is a big deal. Ancestral wounds is a big deal. Like transgenerational astrology, where it talks about the astrology of the generation of my family and their ancestry. Like, this is big for charts like this with water and water. There's a lot of history oozing. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that helps a little bit. I think I got time for one more because it's 6:30 now. And Stacy, I saved that information. It's in the system. I think you said it sounded like you, so I just kept talking. Yeah, okay, great. You can relate. Spiritual for sure. Great. Yes, there's been a few traumas. Got it. Vertex at 23. That could be it too. And the Cancer moon responsibility. Yeah, the Capricorn moon, I said Cancer. Capricorn moon, a lot of duty and responsibility with home and family. Got to be the mom and dad type of thing. Okay. All right. So who came after Stacy? I think it was Amy was next. Is Amy here? Okay, we got to do roll call. Who's still here? Amy, I think you were next. Are you still here? Look at Biddy. Australia is like, I'm just going to put my stuff in on this line here. Oh, Amy was here at 6:16. Amy, are you still here? And I am going in order just for anybody in the chat who's like, hey, that Amy person. Amy was commenting way up earlier in the chat. But if she's not here, we're going on to the next name. Holly said, I'm here. Top man. Yeah, I'm supposed to be seeing both chats. The StreamYard thing, it supposedly shows me the chat from both streams. It shows me the vertical and the horizontal streams. That's what they tell me. Okay, so is Amy still here? And I'm going to do the going once, going twice. If she's still here, great. If she might have left after I did that last reading. She might have thought, oh, hell no, I'm out of here. And that's fine. Let me see. Did anybody put a thumbs up on the live stream? I know I didn't even do that. Let me do that. Why do I do that? Because I never look the shit up. I just start working. I'm like, I got stuff to do. Let's see here. Okay. I left my info on your email. Well, if nobody else answers, because I said I had enough time to do one more person, so people probably bailed, which is fine. Amy said I'm here. Okay, great. Okay, so Amy was next. Just so you know, top manifesting queen. Love the name, by the way. Love the confidence. We do this every week, and usually the first and third Saturday of every month. So you're more than welcome to come back. Matter of fact, I will be here again on Wednesday. Somebody's already reached out and said that that's the day they can make it. And when people put money down, then I'm like, okay, I'll be there. That's the day that they can do. So I will be here Wednesday, probably around the same time. All right, let's get Amy's chart up here. Okay, Amy, what am I focusing on for you? Is there anything in particular, or just kind of what jumps out? November 5th, 1981. I know a lot of people with that November 5th birthday. You gave me 2:45. Is that AM or PM? Hey, Amy, is that AM or PM for your birth time? I'm looking for the answer. Did Amy leave or what? What's going on? Well, isn't this interesting? All righty. I got you in the system. I already put the PM in because I just thought it was the PM and I thought I better ask. Thank you for the confirmation on that. And have you seen your chart before? This is on. Oh, would you rather that I change and put your last? I'm just going to leave what I have down. Wait a minute. What's the 1081? Yeah, I got the PM. All right. We're just going to stop talking. How about this? Let me just get the chart up on here already. I'm eating up time here. Yeah. We're going to confirm these digits. November 5th, 1981. Little Rock, Arkansas, 2:45 p.m. All right, here's your chart. We're going to get rid of that real quick. All right, we got a Pisces on the rising, 20 degrees of Pisces. And your moon, the hell is your moon? I went right past it. Aquarius moon in the 12th house at 22 degrees. Ah. Hidden excitement. Yeah, this isn't interesting. So your dreams, do you have exciting dreams? I mean, literally when you're asleep, do you find that they're like these great, adventures and shit? Different, unique, like crazy, maybe even otherworldly, alien-like kind of stuff. Possibly, it's Aquarius energy. Anyway, your moon is up there. Divine energy, man. Uranus in the 12th. Okay, so let's see, what do we got here? Scorpio sun. These are the super detective of the zodiac. 8th and the 9th house. Whew, talk about deeply meaningful energy. But that Uranus at 29 degrees, flashes of insight and deep knowledge and truth. Whew, serious energy. Sudden changes in life. Regarding shared resources and joint ventures, shared values, fascinated by esoteric and the metaphysics. And when I said before, I was saying esoteric, the occult, the esoteric, metaphysics, miracle, mystical, magical kind of stuff would be all of that. Oh, you have a nice trine. Wow, to your north node. Partnerships comes up again, but individuality. Starting. Ooh. Home, family, children. Mom energy. Makes you wonder if this is a person who always wanted to be a mom, because creating energy would be big here. But starting. Mars at 9 degrees, day-to-day routines, health, taking action. Health would be a focus, usually being physical. But in the Virgo energy, this has to be more, maybe even more practical. Like yoga, taekwondo or something, or martial arts and whatever the hell, tai chi, something that's not like so crazy extreme, more of a, it's got some meaning to it. It's got some focus to it. It's got some practical discipline that I can apply. It's functional action. Mars in Virgo. Gardening, food, the earth. But worker of tools and with tools, that's for sure. This is big on crafting. Mars in Virgo, taking action, being a crafter and creating. Okay. I don't know. What was I focusing on for you? Where is her thing at? Let me check my phone. Okay. Oh, yeah, definitely meditation for sure. And because it's physical with the Mars, because Mars wants to use its body. And I think that's why yoga is like what kind of came through, because some people see that as like a meditative physical thing. I mean, there's different kinds of yogas, I get it, but you know what I'm saying. That whole sitting and chanting thing, and maybe chanting. Oh yeah, you have Taurus in the 2nd house. That might be a thing for you then, if you haven't tried it. Wow. Absolutely. Okay, so where did that moon go? Yeah, the crazy moon energy. So this can be tricky in terms of emotions and feeling, because I could be detached and feel very cold to people. You follow? It's kind of like the same as having a moon in Capricorn. Bouts of depression, possibly. Cold energy, stoic energy with emotions. And maybe you don't think so because it's in the 12th house, but maybe people who know you feel that way, because Aquarius is a friend energy. And it's more scientific. It wants proof of things, so it doesn't really trust emotions. It knows that emotions can sway our thoughts, and so it kind of has it likes the more of the intellectual, proof-based stuff. So it just can be kind of tricky energy to work with, right? Social gatherings would probably be good, but world events and social issues. I relate to this with my mom. She's like an Aquarius, not moon, but Aquarius sun. And she could talk about, well, not anymore. She can't, but she used to be able to, she would love to talk about politics, world events. Like, oh man, she loved that shit. Loved it. Loved it. She would just love to sit and chat the whole damn day on that crap. But try to have a private conversation with her, like just a one-on-one. That didn't happen until she had no choice. Yeah. Then anyway, it was more of a moment of surrender for her, I think, when she was finally able to do that. The thing about this chart, which is fascinating, is your Mercury and your Pluto are exact here. They're both at 25 degrees in Libra, the diplomat. Wow. This is more ultimate detective work. So person who might contract work, whether it's writing contracts, looking through contracts, because this can be insurance stuff too with the Pluto energy there, because it's shared money and values, but deep research. But relationships, marriage and professional partnerships. Wow, and you even have Jupiter here on top of all that. This includes the courtroom, law, lawyers. This includes all of this, starting new and initiating. So this is great energy for somebody who works in that line of work where they're constantly writing up new contracts and they need to get new contracts. Like, this would be great. This is kind of powerful. But the past comes back with this, meaning people you're meeting, coming into contact with. There's like a lot of soul history here with you and these people. But the change and the flip is going to probably be quick. There's always going to be this intensity that demands growth and that demands like a fresh beginning. This can be tricky in the 7th house. This can be tricky. But equality and fairness and balance is Libra energy in general. Okay, it's about the partnership. It's about the compromise. It for sure is. This can be the mediator, someone who comes in as a mediator even. Wow. Intense energy with the Pluto there. So in the partnerships, Pluto expects for somebody to be all in 110, 150%. But it's got the Libra energy to kind of help balance it. So, you do have Saturn in the 7th house. I don't know if we're looking at this for relationships, but your 7th house is loaded. And Saturn's in the 7th, and that usually brings delays in partnerships. Now, you have a lot of power, though, for partnerships. And because your sun is up here, the Pluto does show up for you to provide ample opportunities, okay? Pluto adds to all of that. So if anything, the Saturn Looks like Saturn's here to provide more balance, interestingly enough. My God. So the striving for perfection and fairness and equality within the relationships and a control. That's what's coming through. Possibly being moments of extreme control, because Pluto, if it's not cautious, if we're not paying attention to it, it can make power plays and try to control. And in relationships, with the Mercury, using the control, there might be manipulation at times. Now, this can be that you find yourself in those sorts of relationships, or that there's a part of your personality as well that you sometimes see creeping out, and you're like, what the hell? That could be a thing. But the Saturn would provide discipline in the need to be in relationships. You follow? Because Sirius says, I need to be in relationships. I need to be in relationships where we're talking and communicating, and there's that harmonious back and forth and the respect with each other and for each other. But Saturn kind of comes in and adds the structure, the rigid structure and order of all that. But again, Saturn's boss energy, as is Pluto, as is Jupiter. So anytime we have an abundance of that in partnerships, hopefully you're using this professionally. Because, well, this is contract energy. So whether it's using the law, being part of the courtroom experience, whether it's lawyer, then that would be beneficial. Okay. Yeah, this can be tricky energy here. You've just got so much here. And here's the truth. And this has come up today in all the readings so far. Well, I don't know if every single one of them, but quite a few. Where that Pluto energy, it demands change and growth. It just does. And you have so much at the 25 degrees. There's just so much there. And you even have Isis there at 29. And you know what she's about, right? She's kind of like the Scorpio energy, which is kind of like the Pluto energy, which is kind of like a death and a rebirth. Like, this is just how you have your whole seventh house. This is just the way you came in. So in terms of, if it's a struggle, it would be because the growth isn't happening, the depth of commitment isn't there, or also, in addition to, I should say, maybe the power struggle, right? It's supposed to be harmonious, but wow, it's getting a little extreme here. It might not be so. There's some controlling factors possibly. And if that happens, then it's not healthy for anybody, and the 25 degrees says, I need freedom and my independence. And if I don't have it, this shit's over. Like, that's Pluto. That's Pluto. But that's also Isis here. It's also Shiva. Shiva is the same energy. And you have this all at the 25 just about. So, this is a bit of a challenge. This is a bit of a challenge. And all of that is in a big T-square with your north and your south nodes. You follow? This is like your soul's goal. And your soul's goal would be this Cancer energy at 25 degrees in the 5th house. And this is a lesson, is to not, let me put it like this. It says your soul's goal is to balance ambition with care and kindness and sensitivity. Your true fulfillment, I'm literally reading this from the software. Your true fulfillment comes when you learn to nurture yourself just as much as you nurture those around you. This may involve slowing down, creating safe spaces, or simply acknowledging your need for comfort and rest and emotional safety. As you grow into the Cancer energy, which is warmth, emotional depth, and intuition, you discover that there is great courage in opening your heart. By embracing the role of being the nurturer and the protector, you align with your life's goals, the soul's goals, the life path. and you create a foundation of love and belonging that supports your soul's journey. And your soul's journey, this is me coming in now, is your soul's journey. We don't live through our soul's journey to handle other people's soul's journey. We are responsible for our soul's journey, and that's it. You follow? So this is a strong T-square with these nodes. With your Pluto, with your Mercury, with your Shiva, with your Jupiter. It is always there. That never changes, okay? So I know I kind of went on and on about that, but it's a big deal because it's just always going to be there. Now, with that said, you have some beneficial energy with the moon and with Neptune and even with Spica here. Spica and abundance and even all this other stuff with the partnership energy. This is with this mini trine energy. I'm just looking at this. It's attached to your long-term goals and your commitments, your long-term plan, any long-term commitment, personal and professional. Just so you know, you have Neptune sitting right there, and that's at the top of the midheaven. I'm sorry, that's at the top of this. And what that means is that Neptune can be casting clouds of confusion, but you can also be, can be some delusion and illusions involved here, meaning I'm not really seeing the truth clearly. You follow? So this asks for you to have faith and to trust. That's what it asks for you to do. Literally. Does that mean things will be successful? It means that the only way forward to accomplish these long-term commitments and long-term goals is using the Neptune energy, which is through the meditation, the faith, the prayer, asking for the higher realms assistance even. Like, I need your help, step in now. Like, this is out of my control. Like, I can't handle this. I can't do this alone. And if you don't feel like you're getting an answer, well, then maybe you're not supposed to do it at all, right? Because the Neptune, oddly enough, is at a 23-degree mark. And that is independent energy. That is break away, break free energy. But again, I'm throwing in some caution because it's a mixture of break away, break free, but it's also under the Neptune veil, which makes things fuzzy and we're not too sure. It makes it hard to see the path forward. So this is you do have a really strong water trine with the same north node that squares all your stuff. It's a north node that trines your partnership energy up here to your Juno at 24 and to your vertex point over here at 25, the fate energy. You have a really strong water trine. Again, it's water. So it's basing it's giving you support based on history, like karma, based on the past. And you should probably be aware that whatever you're going through now, especially if this is a committed one-to-one relationship or even professional partnership, a lot of it is probably based on the familiarity, the soul familiarity, because it's a soul story that hasn't fully played out, but it might, this whole year of 2026 and 2025 really has been ending those soul stories, severing them. And Scorpio energy has one hell of a hard time severing bonds. It really does. It's very bonded energy. But look, your Uranus at 29 says, sever, damn it. That's what we're here for. So, it pains me to see all this energy loaded up over here because people who have this, they're so inclined to be in relationships. I mean, it's just in their chart. But at the same time, they also have the same strong structures and setups that say, oh, but these are like doomed to fail type of thing, or they're going to be very difficult, and so it's like, oh god, but yet people are drawn to it. That's what they want. So it's really difficult. It comes to you asking, okay, am I going to live my life for my personality, or am I going to do it according to my soul? And it's really just that's it. That's the simple question. That's the way to simplify it. And I know it's over for simplifying things, but it's hard. It's hard. This is not like a quick give me my reading. This is I have to go deep within myself, deep within my soul to find the answer to this. You know what I mean? So with that, I'm going to end because I feel like I could babble all day on this. There's just a lot of information there with that seventh house. It's tricky as hell. But you know what? Your descendant is 20 degrees of Virgo. Oh God, that's even more karmic energy. It's 20 degrees of Virgo. So that means, like, if you're in a relationship, there's even a practical component that makes sense. That makes it very difficult. However, I'm just going to say that if this is some controlling shit, right? Yeah. Usually that stuff ends up being dangerous. And that's never okay. That's never okay. So that's just me. If it was me in my chart, yes, it's easy for me to say that I'm on the other side here and it's not my chart. But when it comes down to if it gets dangerous, all this being at 25 degrees says me and my independence and my body and my freedom. That's what all this says at 25 degrees. So I think you have to honor safety if it ever comes to that, okay? Always someone trying to control me, and I also need my freedom. I feel I should be alone. Yeah, that's actually what's really important. You have to figure out, people really just have to learn how to sit with themselves and ask those deep ass probing questions, which I know you can do looking at all your Scorpio energy. And you have water in the water houses. Sure, you have some air, but you have water. And these people are quite deep. So y'all know how to ask those questions of yourselves. That's for sure. Yeah, you are welcome. Thank you for waiting around. Thank you for the appreciation. And we'll be back on Wednesday. There is somebody who is already set up for Wednesday. So I will definitely be here, short of power going out or some crazy shit. We've had power out just the other day and storms that came through. We just never know. For whatever reason, we seem to lose power. Just more than normal with the storms and stuff. Lots of water, lots of rain. It's been crazy. All right. Yes, top manifesting queen, you are welcome. Yeah, come on back and we'll get your digits. If you've sent me an email with your digits, what I do once I close down here is I go to the emails and then I can take whatever information is there and I can create a chart right then and save it to the system. That way, the next time you come back, we're not slowing things down by y'all staring at me as I'm creating a chart. That way I've got it already done. Okay. All right. Okay, great. All right. Thank you for everybody who sent a channel gift. Thank you so, so much. And we'll be back again on Wednesday. On Saturday night, we do the astrology class. It's really for everybody, but those are private. So contact me through the email. And then we also do a private lives, which is just like this, but it's on the down low. Nobody can see it. Those are very small, limited spaces available. So again, send me an email if you're interested in anything like that, and I'll communicate with you with the details. All right, everybody, you take care. And as always, thank you very much. Bye-bye.